Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Today's topic is going to be the pinnacle of indifference. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. So when you were in the narcissistic relationship, let's be real, you were tested, you were tried. It was an exhausting experience. Perhaps you're still in the relationship right now and maybe they're a sibling or family member or a coworker, who knows? But the point is, you understand now, or you're getting the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle on channels like mine and many others. And again, thank you very much for being here. But when you exit this relationship is what I really want to dig into. When the relationship ends, whether you were discarded or you ended it yourself, there are many times, especially with a romantic relationship or a neighbor, things like that, business associate too. What am I saying? All of them. But what happens is you have to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and you have to actually do a lot of inner work and healing and processing and become educated and awakened and aware and understand that this person who turned out to be the narcissist, or maybe you had a couple of narcissistic relationships in the past or present, that they did not benefit you, that they don't benefit you, and that they never will benefit you. You see, the narcissist doesn't think like you. They think in one way, which is to take. And you, if you're on the channel, most likely you are not a taker. You're most likely a beautiful empath or somebody who's kind, loving. You have abundance. You have a lot to offer. And you're not keeping score of any relationship, meaning if you did that for me, well, then I have to do that. No, you just do things out of love or because you want to do it. Willingness, I should say. But when the relationship ends, many times you have to become educated on so many topics, specifically with narcissism, and this takes people time. I'm talking time. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just saying some people perhaps can heal quicker than others. Some people it may take a really long time. It all depends, and I've created videos on this, it depends on how much introspection you do within yourself, how much healing you do, and how much you recognize that you had to go through this relationship to get where you are right here, right now with me. Because remember, there's no such thing as a coincidence on this planet. You're meant to be here right now with me right here. Now, after you have put in a lot of work on yourself post-narcissistic relationship, you will, when you're doing it, you'll have some dark days. You'll have some very difficult times, weeks, months, periods of time where you are putting yourself back together, but it maybe isn't moving as fast as you want. And what you ask yourself is, wow, how much longer is this going to take? Like, I've been putting myself back together for such a long time, and when am I just going to be able to exhale and live my life again? The answers to that question are many, but they are contingent specifically upon you, how much work you put into yourself and how much healing you do, and understand that perhaps there are childhood wounds that you will have to process and go through. But the narcissistic relationship is one of the most toxic relationships you can experience on this planet. It sincerely is, because until you get the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle, you stay in this relationship and you keep working for the narcissist and keep on thinking things will change, they will improve, they will get better, and they don't. That's why many times people that don't have the education on narcissism, they accept the Hoover. It's not because they're curious, which is for a whole different video. Many people accept the Hoover because they're curious. They want to test their newfound skills on narcissism to see if it's actually true that this person they were with actually is a narcissist. And I would not suggest that. But people that don't have the education on narcissism many times accept the Hoover if it comes. And the reason why they accept it is because they get sucked back into the circle of deception, lies, manipulation, and misinformation, or the narcissistic abusive cycle. And this happens over and over and over again, wash, rinse, repeat. How many times have you, perhaps you experienced it yourself, or you know somebody who has gone back to the same person, let's say it's a romantic relationship, they've gone back to that person over and over multiple times. The reason why is because this person did not do the work. They have not healed properly. Now, it is not their fault. Perhaps they didn't know about narcissism. Perhaps they did, and they did not decide to use their wisdom or newfound education on the topic. And if that's the case, then I'm sorry to hear that. But my message for this video is the pinnacle of indifference. What will happen eventually if you put work into yourself and you understand that this is a serious thing? The narcissistic relationship It's the silent issue. That means, remember, the narcissist is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're one person to the general public. They're somebody completely different behind closed doors. Can be anybody. Can be a neighbor, business person, can be your lover. It doesn't matter. But we know who the narcissist is now. But once you process this and actually heal from it, you go no contact, you delete them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with the narcissist, then you heal more. And slowly you're seeing your cup get more and more full. Your cup is rising. Remember, we talked about the glass half full, glass half empty a couple days ago. Your cup begins to get full. And again, there is no time frame. People ask frequently, how long is it going to take for me to heal? There is no time frame. It's contingent upon how much work you place into yourself and how much healing you need to do. But you will heal in time, in your time, when you're ready. But to reach the pinnacle of indifference, what this means is, it means there will be a moment in time when you've healed properly. And if this is you, or you've done it recently or in the past, please drop comments below. The point is you will get to the pinnacle of indifference, which means it's the mountaintop. It's the best place you want to be. And what that means is you sincerely don't think about the narcissist, meaning you don't care if they get hit by a bus or if they win the lottery. It doesn't matter. Now, you don't wish ill will upon people. That's not what we do on the channel. I certainly don't. But when you reach the pinnacle of indifference, it absolutely liberates you. It frees you. You are now officially you have put that relationship in the past and you're indifferent. And indifference is a great place to be. You see, the narcissist is banking on you not getting to that pinnacle, that mountaintop of indifference. They don't want you there. What they want is they want to keep you in the circle, the loop of narcissistic abuse. And their hope is that you never get the education or the awareness. Their hope sincerely is that you don't take a stand, you don't block them and delete them, and you don't move forward with your life. Remember, when you were with the narcissist, you were living their life. You weren't living your life. You thought you were living your life, and you thought you were headed in the same direction as the narcissist. Nothing could be further from the truth. The truth of the matter is you were living their life. You were the gopher. You were the unpaid helper. You were their assistant. You were their sounding board. You were their punching bag. You were the person who received all of the abuse. You were the person that was suffering, and I don't like to use that word, but you were taking all of the punishment mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, financially. You lost your circle of friends. You perhaps lost your job. You lost your identity, I am certain. And then, lo and behold, perhaps you were discarded, or perhaps you removed yourself from the relationship. And then what did you do? You had to fight like you know what to get to where you are now. And each and every day, as you know, it's not linear. You have good days and not so good days. That is part of the healing path. And on the healing path, we are all on that path, headed in the same direction, just taking different footsteps. That's a fact. Now, when you reach the pinnacle of indifference, it means that you are about as liberated and free as you've ever been in your life. Because remember, there are three versions of you. There's the version of you before you met the narcissist. There's the version of you when you were in the narcissistic relationship. And there's the version of you post-narcissistic relationship. And that is where you want to be. The version post-narcissistic relationship, when you are at the pinnacle of indifference and you sincerely have put them in the rearview mirror. You're living your best life. You're taking on new responsibilities. Perhaps you fell in love again. You've moved. You've invested time into yourself. Perhaps you started a business, a website. Perhaps you're donating your time. But what you are doing is you're no longer giving your energy to the narcissist. You're giving your energy now to yourself and or those loved and trusted ones around you. That's what you should be doing. And that is exactly how you heal. Now, keep in mind, I've mentioned a lot of things in this video. The key takeaway from this is if you are not at the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference where you sincerely are liberated from the narcissist. Yes, you still may ruminate. Yes, you still may get triggered by hearing a song or something like that. It's understandable. It happens to people. And I'm not downplaying that, but it's understandable. But no longer are you frozen. No longer is your identity stolen. No longer can you stay isolated. You've now taken your life back over. You've healed and you've healed properly. And you are moving forward. And you're understanding that there is so much beauty on this planet called Earth just waiting for you to enjoy without the narcissist. That is where you need to be. So if you are there, again, God bless you. That's beautiful. I'm very proud of you. And you've done work. And I'm extremely proud of you. Share your wisdom, your insight with people. Help others that don't, or perhaps don't even know what's going on, that can't help themselves. That's what you should be doing. The other thing is, if you're not at the pinnacle of indifference, you're not there yet, keep working. All it means is you have more work to do. And it's going to take more time, but that's not a bad thing. You see, post-narcissistic relationship, this is when you discover who you really are, because you will be tested. You will be tested each and every moment of your life until you get to where you want to be. It's a fact. Again, I'm not trying to upset you or trigger you. I'm letting you know, post-narcissistic relationship, you have a mountain of work ahead of you. And the only person that can do this work is you. You can watch all the videos, read all the books, take all the classes, see all the therapists you want to, and I suggest you do all of the above if you have the means. However, you need to do the work. You need to receive the message as to why you were in this narcissistic relationship for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. And you need to get the takeaway. The message is that you had to go through it to find the third version of you, the best version of you that you did not even know was possible, but now you're understanding that. So guys, understand, before I close the video, understand that nobody wanted to be in the narcissistic relationship. It's not like you walked into it and read a two-page report that the narcissist handed over to you and said, I'm going to abuse you and just read this, agree the terms, and let's do it. You would have never agreed. And yes, if you were born into a family, I get it. You didn't have an option, and you certainly went through a lot of not good experiences, to say the least. But my hope is you're getting the education now, or perhaps you did in the past, and you're insulating yourself from the narcissist or narcissists. But the pinnacle of indifference, it's a beautiful place to be. It's a place that takes time, sincerely. But once you put the hard work into yourself and you digest this video, what I'm mentioning to you, and you get there, you will be changed in such a beautiful way that you can't even imagine. There is nothing but goodness and positivity and abundance going your way once you get there. Believe me when I tell you. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great evening. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware. And understand that the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, it's there. It's right in front of you. Maybe a little further down the road than you'd like. But imagine, if you will, let's say you're going, I don't know what country you're in, but you know, if you know how it is, like, let's say the Mojave Desert, California. When you're driving, you see these mountains, right? There's these huge mountains, and it could be anywhere, but I just use that example. And then the mountain, as you get closer to it, it's getting bigger and bigger, and you're like, oh my gosh, how, like, what am I? That's where you belong. You belong in that mountaintop. And to get there, it's not going to be like we may wave the magic wand and you get there. You're going to have to climb your way up there and get there, but you will. Kind of a long-winded answer there, but you get my point. God bless you guys. I love you. Have a great evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Continue to move forward each and every day. Continue to become the best version of yourself possible. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.